Hi, Bullhorn, for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
My bite's not close to my bark buddies. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
You are who you hang out with. They're not likely you're gonna get too far away from your roommates. So if your 5 roommates are all shredded yogi instructors that drink kale smoothies, one of 2 things is likely happening. You're gonna be the 6th, or you're getting new friends, if they're your best friends. That's gonna happen. If all of your friends piss and moan about working and capitalism and being held to a standard, the chances that you're gonna buck that trend for any length of time is very low. And one of two things will then happen. You will either become like them or you will get new friends. And that's not some elitist shit. It's just one of the ways we connect is through shared values. And you're gonna have a really hard time being friends with someone closely whose values are wildly different than your own. Like, we like to say opposites attract, and it is true when it comes to personality, way less true when it comes to values. You're either going to surrender your values or you're gonna surrender your set of friends.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, my beautiful people, YouTube. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday this morning. I am up. We've been doing lives a little later. I don't know what's going on with my sleep, but it is what it is. So it looks like our new time's like around 8:30. Pretty soon it's going to be about noon. Who knows, right? Who knows? I'm just joking. Now, I'm showing that I'm having some technical issues behind the scenes. So just give me just a second. I'm hoping what I'm about to do is not going to interfere with what I've already got set up, because I hate to have to set this up or refresh. Just give me just a second. I'm probably going to go down just for a split second. I just want to make sure that we're running, properly. And that did not help one bit. Okay, so we tried. Okay, I'm hopeful that I don't have to refresh, but if I do have to refresh, I will. I've just got a few videos already set up. I'd like to try to get through those at least before I've got to refresh the screen. So if I'm like far away, I'm sorry. If I'm close, I'm, whatever. Good morning. It feels like a manic Monday this Thursday morning. Throwback Thursday. Many know that yesterday was the 2-year mark of when Gabby Petito was found. And it's just, this case is just kind of took life of its own. I think it's kind of the poster child of domestic violence. I really kind of think Gabby Petito, like domestic violence, we discussed many, many years ago. It's been kind of in the forefront, but it kind of went away. It wasn't really discussed anymore. And then, Gabby Petito happened, and she was, a lot of people were following her adventures across the country. And it just, she seemed like she had it all. And I think that is what shocked so many people that followed her, is because this was this beautiful soul, that was just so bubbly and just so outgoing. And she looked like she was just living, every young 20-something's dream. Out on the road, sleeping under the stars, just hitting the road with your boyfriend, your BFF. And just living, just the freedom of living on the road, it was just this fantasy that many people had, and she's living it. And so the idea that there was actually problems behind the scenes that nobody knew about, that she was silent about, something like them being physical with each other. It was just, nobody knew. And I think that that was the message out of all of this is these things do happen and nobody knows. You can be in front of a camera, you can live this life, you can, everybody all jelly over you, you sleeping under the stars, you looking like you're just, just the happiest person in the whole world. And when that camera goes off, it's something out of Shining. And I think that that's the reality of domestic violence. The face of domestic violence looks perfect. The face of domestic violence just looks like freedom and openness and happiness. But what you don't know is it's progressive and it's lethal. And I think that that's what Gabby Petito's story really told the world. So good morning, Gigi for life. Bullhorn Betty is present. D, good morning. KK Gongs, nice to see you. Courtney, Charlotte, Nani, good morning, love. Mama Llama is in the house and reminding us she is 9. Don't forget to hit that button on your way in. Courtney, good morning. Who else do we have? Have it back? Because First Coffee, tip it back 88. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Inspire before you expire. I am Team Summer. Good morning, love bugs. Or should I say coffee beans? And I think that's it this morning. So good morning, all. Before we get started, I didn't even read Language of Letting Go this morning, but I know whatever's in it is probably going to be good. We've got about 4 videos that we're going to go over, and now into kind of like we were out front, just to try to bring this into perspective. If you guys are not getting the notifications, make sure that when the live is over, you actually do this while the live is going on right now. Just go out there and check your settings and turn your subscribe settings to all and to personalize. They have a tendency of being reset every so often. So if you guys did not get your notification this morning, please consider changing that personalization setting, because I'm dropping videos. I still got the search for Layla Santinello, also for the Layla Santinello case. Actually, before we get down, we'll do the Language of Letting Go first, and then we'll go through the video, this message from Layla's mom to her. That we're trying to get out. It's on my video section of YouTube, or you can use TikTok. If you guys are TikTok people, please consider sharing my TikTok video as well as the YouTube video. We're just trying to get a message to Layla Santinello if she's out there somewhere, further than Kingsport or Tennessee, because there are some things, and we'll discuss those things here in just a little bit before we get into Gabby Petito. So September 21st, let me get my glasses on. I keep forgetting I'm old as dirt. Aging is never fun, right? Reverse your connections. Ooh, this should be interesting. So this is for September 21st. Things derive their being and nature from mutual dependence and are nothing by themselves. We are dependent on much around us, not just our survival, but our joy. We need food, water, the company of our fellow travelers on this great journey. We can be sufficient in our attitude to take care of ourselves, yet we need the world around us in order to live and to be fully alive. We are one part of a whole. We are a complete part, but nonetheless a part. We need other parts. The other parts need us. Just as we're influenced and impacted by those who touch us, we influence and impact with them with their thoughts, words, and behaviors. We cannot control others. Look at the difference in our relations when we speak gently and lovingly, and when we scream. While it is great to revel in the blessings of existence, the world becomes more interesting and alive when we recognize everyone and everything else in it too. This body cannot be without the substance of food, And our soul's experience here would be greatly reduced where it's not for the company of other spirits we have met. While we do not need to live up to anyone's expectations of us, we need to remember that our actions will impact those around us. Yes, we have the liberty to think, feel, and behave however we choose, but what we do will touch the lives of others. We are not responsible for others, but we have responsibility to them. Revel in your freedom, but revere and honor your connections to the world around you. Take responsibility for how you touch and connect with everything and everyone in your life today. Live relevantly, compassionately, respectfully toward yourself and all else in the world. God, give me the reverence and the respect for all life. So, God bless, guys, and don't forget about the coffee club and what coffee means to us, right? Christ offers forgiveness for everyone, everywhere. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. You are loved. You are loved. So I hope you guys feel the love today. I hope you guys feel the love today. So before we get started, you guys know that there's a passion case of mine that really touches and connects with me and is kind of like the Gabby Petito case for me. And it's the Layla Santinello case. This is a young mother that went missing in Kingsport, Tennessee. She was 20 years old at the time. She's since turned 21. Nobody has had contact with her. She hasn't reached out to friends. She hasn't reached out to family. She's been missing since June 27th. Law enforcement got involved, like really involved, like started taking this case seriously about August 1st. About August 4th, we started hearing, because of our case with Summer Wells, we have a lot of connections in the area. And so we learned early on, even though law enforcement and media out there, they were raiding a house and doing a search, but they would not tell the news outlets or anybody else what the search was about. Because of the work that I did, this is prior to me even getting involved, going out there, doing flyers. This is literally day one. I connect the dots and realize it's Dale Street because I sleuthed, and I looked into her life. It's part of one of the things that I do when I, start investigating a case. I start looking into her life. I look into their social media accounts. And so I was able to identify a few people that were friends of hers through social media. And when I was looking into their history, because it's never just about the person, it's kind of crawling, just kind of moving wherever these things connect. That's kind of the whole process. You're just on here and you're just reading everything. That's just basically what it is. You're reading everything, you're clicking here, you're just following everything through. And so it was very easy for me to determine, and I would say it took me less than half an hour to determine that, there are friends in her social media account that are directly linked to that house. So it was, I was able to let everybody know that this is involved with the Layla Santinello case. I came under fire for that because I don't know what I'm talking about, which, okay. Either way, we have learned that house was related to this case. We don't know how, we don't know why, but it was. So fast forward a little bit, we started learning a little more. We realized she's missing. We don't know what happened. We decided, this mother is just pleading for help. So Olivia and I talked and we decided, we're going to get together and just see what we, just go out there, shake the trees, see what falls. Nothing major. We didn't know what we were going to find. We didn't know if we were even going to be able to help, because let's face it, just because we go out there does not mean that we're going to find something, and then that's with anybody. That's even with the PIs. That's with anybody. You really don't know what you're going to find, if you're going to find anything at all, but you know that unless you go out there to look, you're definitely not going to find a darn thing, right? So we decided to pack up and make our way out there. We did not, just to let you know, we did not coordinate with Jen for the first trip. We did not do anything. We just went out there. We just wanted to, we didn't have any contact. We did not meet up with anybody in the family. We just wanted to be left alone to do our thing. That's really what it is. We don't want any, when we're out there for a fact finding, we don't want anything kind of taking our focus off, because we're starting with literally a blank page. We don't want anything on that page going in. We want it blank. We want to find out what information leads us where. We don't want preconceived notions. We don't want any kind of bias. We don't want anything. We need a blank page. We need a blank sheet of paper, and we need to figure this out. And we always start where was the last place she was seen. Just like with Brian Laundrie, no different. This is ground zero. So we determined that for us, our ground zero, because this is the last place we know that she was alive, was the Marble Slab Creamery. Okay, we don't know anything else. This is the information we had rolling into town. Okay, we know that she went missing on June. Even at this time, it was a little hinky whether she went missing on June 26th, June 27th. We had two law enforcement reports. Okay, two different law enforcement reports that had two different dates on it. So that created confusion. What date was she truly missing on? Okay. So, but this is all we had. We knew she was at the AmeriCorps Hotel. We heard that and we didn't even hear from news reports. I found this in a document from the United States Justice System, because she's on their system as a missing person, as a, endangered missing person. So she went on to another thing. And that's when I learned was frantic. It was from that report. We learned that live here on this channel, that she was frantic at some point and ran toward the tree lines. That was the first time that we even knew that there might be some kind of weird issue going on in this case. But other than that, we didn't know exactly what day she went missing. We knew that she was at the AmeriCorps. Now we're learning that she ran into the tree lines, and then we're reading another news article that basically said she slept in the woods. And the last place she was seen was at the Marble Slab Creamery, and where she got nutrients. And we didn't even have a time when she showed up to the Marble Slab. Like, we had nothing. That is the limited information that we had going into Kingsport, Tennessee. We had not spoken to Jen. We haven't spoken to anybody. I just spoke to Jen's friend a couple times about the case before I even discussed it here the first time. That was it. So when we went out there, we learned quite a bit, and we were able to trace her. We were able to start at Marble Slab. We were able to follow her steps backwards. We were able to meet, and that's how we were meeting all the people. And if you notice in our interviews, our people are backwards. It's because we were working backwards. So the later interviews we got first, because we went from the Marble Slab, we followed the green belt, and we were following it where it came out by this business. And we saw the AmeriCorps and the woods, and we assumed as soon as we popped out there that this has to be it. But it wasn't until I just heard there was like a semi truck backed up into this bay, but I could hear somebody walking in and out of it. So I'm like, excuse me, hello. And then this kind gentleman pops his head out of, from around this tractor trailer that's moved up into the bay. And I'm like, my name is so-and-so, and we're just trying to, follow information. And he's like, oh yeah, because I spoke to law enforcement as well as TBI about this. And I'm like, boom, this is a man I need to talk to. So we kind of corralled around him, and he was just very nice, very pleasant, and he told us a lot of information. So then we start moving through. We now know, because that one, there's so much woods around. When we went to the AmeriCorps, we didn't even know which woods she was sleeping in. We had no clue. So it was, we identified some areas we thought she may have slept in. And one of the first areas that we had identified as the potential woods that she may have slept in were actually the woods that she actually slept in. So, I mean, the reason why I'm telling you this is I just want you to know that there is a process behind the scenes, and sometimes we hit and sometimes we hit pay dirt. This is one of the times that we hit pay dirt. And then we follow around to the AmeriCorps Hotel. That's when we get to the AmeriCorps Hotel, that's when we learn that there's some people that saw her, and we got that interview. So that's kind of where we're at. But one of the things that were said at the AmeriCorps Hotel from that interview that I did live on my live stream, because I was live streaming at the time, and Olivia found this person, came out and said, hey, we have somebody that has some information. She tried to help Layla. Come listen to her. And so she was talking and describing this frantic type state that Layla had been in. She couldn't determine, was she running from somebody or was she running from law enforcement? They couldn't determine. But obviously there was something going on with her at that moment. So much so that everybody was trying to help her. She was running away from so much so she fell over her feet and fell before she made it into the woods. But one of the things that caught our attention was during that interview, the lady had brought up, if somebody has a debt, there's a potential for the ST, especially with young blonde-haired girls. Layla has blonde hair, brown eyes, but I think she said blonde hair, blue eyes. Either way, we get the drift. Young blonde hair, good-looking girls, that owe money, have to work that money off. Okay, so what if that is the case here? What if she's out there a little further than we think? So I believe it was, I don't know if it was Olivia or Jen, but they decided, maybe it would be a good idea to speak directly to Layla, speak directly to her. And so this is the message that Jennifer Santinello would like her daughter to see. We have really, in all fairness, we have tried everything, literally everything that we can imagine. No, that's not the right one. Let me take this one down. Sorry, guys. Should be not too hard to find. Why is this being too hard to find? Is that it? No. Let me just, there it is. This is it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up here. There we go. And so we're going to, hopefully it does this, unless it goes over to, there we go.
Living day to day with a giant hole in our lives without her has been the hardest.
Santinello has been missing since June 27, 2023 from Kingsport, Tennessee. Despite diligent effort to locate her whereabouts, all efforts have been unsuccessful to date. We are asking anybody and everybody that may have any information leading to the whereabouts of Layla Santinello to please come forward. There is now a $2,000 reward being offered to any information directly linked to the location of Layla Santinello. Because we don't know what happened to Layla, we don't know where she may be, her mother has a message for her daughter to hear.
I need to know that you're still here. My name is Jennifer. This is my daughter Layla. She went missing on June 27th. The last place she was seen was right behind me at this marble slab. The last person to see her and think about it, it was an employee here. We miss her very much every day. Living day to day with a giant hole in our lives without her has been the hardest part of this. Baby, if you're out there, somehow, miraculously, this reached you, contact us. Send a letter, a postcard, you know the address. Just put Pop's secret password on the paper. I won't tell anybody. Anything else isn't fathomable.
We are asking everybody, please pass and share this message around so that it may get to Layla wherever she may be. God bless each and every one of you.
Sorry, I just realized my mic was down. So if you guys would like to, this is over on my video section of my Bullhorn Betty channel here on YouTube. And it's right here, a mother's message. If you guys would like to pass that around, we would definitely be forever grateful for that. Again, this is just, you know, a possibility. We don't know where she's at. You know, there's been no evidence so far, okay? Law enforcement has uncovered anything nefarious so far, okay? That doesn't mean nothing nefarious happened. It doesn't mean nothing natural didn't happen. It doesn't mean that she's not, something else may have happened to her. So we're just hitting this from all fronts. If she's out there, you know, her has a message for her. So hopefully, you know, we can get that out there to her, you know, just to see. Who knows? She might be out there. Now moving on to, and we're going to be also, now there is a $2,000 reward. This was hard-earned cash-in-hand money. This is not a fictitious reward of any kind. This is already money that's already been collected. The reward. There is a GoFundMe if you would like to help raise that reward. We're trying to raise the reward to make it more. We need people coming forward. We need leads coming forward. Law enforcement needs leads. Santinella, Layla needs leads coming in about what may or may not have happened. Okay, that's just the nuts and bolts of it. And she needs leads coming in. Right now, we don't have the leads coming in. So hopefully, you know, we can get that $2,000. We're running a campaign, A Dollar Will Do. This is a Dollar Will Do campaign. Many of us don't have $20 to because we cuss too much. So we have this thing here that needs to be filled up. So we don't necessarily always have a $20 left. I'm just kidding. But we don't always have, you know, in this economy, money laying around. But this is a crowdfunding effort. So a dollar will do. I find that everybody at least has a buck that they can help out. So that's what we are doing. A dollar will do. One of my mods will drop that GoFundMe into the chat. If it's something that's calling your name and you would like to give, thank you, Sonia, and you would like to give to this cause to help raise that reward fund, that is the best way to do it. This GoFundMe, just to clarify, is ran by the family. It's for the family. It's for this reward fund. If you would like to help contribute, please consider doing that. If you know that people are contributing and you want to just do something nice for her, as you know, she's taking care of Layla's daughter. There's some other things, it's not my place to say, that are going on in their life. So if you would like to get resources to Jen directly, you can do that through her CashApp, which is right there. Anyway, guys, this is a beautiful channel. We do great work here. We really do try to help as much as we can. And I just want to tell everybody on here, thank you and God bless you for all the amazing work and the support. You guys know that this job is not the easiest on me, but we try to always do it with a smile on our face, and we just keep trucking through. So this is one of those cases. Now, getting back to Gabby Petito, this was a case 2 years ago that really, to be honest with you, brought us all together. I mean, I know some people say or came over here because maybe Summer Wells or maybe Kylie Rodney or a number of the other cases that we've covered along our journey. But the real one that brought me here, brought me to all of you, brought me to social media, to the true crime, area of social media, was the Gabby Petito case. This is a case that we do our case from the heart. But this was the one case that not only did we do from the heart, like we went to mattress for Gabby Petito. We literally took the gloves off and we fought for her. We fought to find out the truth. We knew that there was something going on. We knew that the family was lying. We knew that they knew more than they were saying. We knew. Okay, I'm just telling you, we knew. And so, we were out there for a week and a half. We were just monitoring the situation. You saw us. Nothing major. No bullhorns, no nothing. We're just standing on the sidelines, right along with all the media, just, spectating. We were just trying to get as much information. We're watching the raid. We're watching the, law enforcement. We're seeing this mass media presence, but nothing, just nothing. We know Brian Laundrie's gone. Now we know that Gabby Petito at this point, this is 20, right? So 20th, 2021. And we're now learning that Gabby Petito truly is gone. They found her thanks to Red, White, and Bethune. Without them, I truly believe Gabby would still be out there. I truly believe she would still be out there. That place is where she was far. I don't think people don't understand how far away she was from her van. I don't think they understand how many streams that they had to walk through to get there. It was weird. And it was so weird for me that I stopped everything. And we'll get to that. We're going to be going to TikTok and everything else. And you'll hear one of my published videos on TikTok even said, is this a dumping site? Like it was so weird and so far away from, we were right behind Brian Enton. Brian Enton was out there before we got out there. And even him sitting there where they found Gabby, he didn't express, we had no knowledge. It wasn't even watching him. We had no knowledge how far away it was. And how uncomfortable the walk was. This was not a comfortable walk, folks. This was literally rocks all over. I had boots on. We all had boots on. The walk was hurting our feet because of the walking over all the rocks. Like this, I can't express it. There's just rocks everywhere. It's Red Creek. But we knew something terrible happened. So these are the protest videos. The first one's ALR. The next three are me. And then we'll just keep pulling up new videos about this case and just seeing where we went, what we did, and everything else. Here we go. I think it's back up.
How many other times you go camping between first and the 17th when you reported Brian missing? How did you know to pick up the Mustang? How did you know to pick up the Mustang? How did you know to pick up the Mustang at the park? Laundrie family, how did you know? We want answers. You need to cooperate with authorities. $1.2 million of police have been spent. My taxpayer money spent looking for Brian at the reserve. You know on Brian's whereabouts. Provide your electronic devices to authority. Provide your electronic devices to authority. You need to do what's right, Laundrie family, because this is not going away. The spotlight is on you. We are here. We are here. The whole world is watching. These cameras outside your house know where you go. You want that forever? Do what's right. Make a public statement. Make a public statement. Demand that Brian turns himself in. Make a public statement. Demand that Brian turns himself into authority. How come you haven't done that? As parents, you want Brian to be captured safely. How come you're not doing that? How come you're not giving any public statement?
I do believe that they knew. And we're finding out they knew.
A danger to the community. The danger to the community. Do what's right, Laundry family. We are here. Justice for Gabby and justice for Gabby's family.
You guys are withholding evidence. We all know it. The world knows it. Your daughter is cracking. She is speaking out. She is speaking out. People. You know
that one started in the
your
middle.
actions are not those of innocent people. You know more, and you're lying. You've been deceiving law enforcement. You've been putting their life in jeopardy. For what? For your murderous son? He's going to be apprehended. It's going to be all for nothing, and you guys are going to be sitting behind bars with him. Laundry family, this is Andrea, Florida activist, Vanity County. We were at your daughter's yesterday giving an interview, and you know more than you're saying. You helped son flee. You probably destroyed evidence, and we want the truth. Your daughter knows you guys are guilty of something. Your attorney knows you're guilty of something. Gabby's life mattered. Gabby Petito's life mattered. She deserves justice. I'm asking you to start cooperating with law enforcement. We are tired of being here. You guys are withholding evidence. We all know it. The world knows it. Your daughter is cracking. She is speaking out. She is speaking. We want the truth from you. We know you know more. We know you know more. What are you doing at Fort DeSoto? How did you know where to get the Mustang? These are questions. Why were you guys buying burner phones for your son? You have
These are all the things we found out.
To answer here. Once you watch your daughter's view, you get the sense that she knows a little bit about how dirty your hands are in all this. She wants nothing to do with it. I can't believe you put her in that with your grandchildren. You haven't even spoken with her. Your attorney's throwing her under the bus. What kind of parents are you? What kind of parents are you? Destroying evidence, helping your son escape responsibility for murdering a young woman. When are you guys going to wake up? Start complying with law enforcement. Start helping in this circus. We are ready for this circus to end. Justice for Gabby and justice for the Petito family. We are out here fighting for all victims of domestic violence. This is deplorable and despicable behavior. Your hands are not clean. Your actions are not those of innocent people. You know more, and you're lying. You've been deceiving law enforcement. You've been putting their life in jeopardy. For what? For your murderous son? He's going to be apprehended. It's going to be all for nothing, and you guys are going to be sitting behind bars with him. We're asking you to break your silence. Break your silence and come clean. Tell law enforcement what you know. Try to have them give you mercy and leniency. We are asking you to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Gabby's life mattered. She mattered. Why don't you go through her stuff and give her belongings to her parents? They do not belong to you. Why did you fly your son back here on the 17th to clean out a stupid storage locker? None of these things make sense. You are being deceptive to police. You are being deceptive to the public. Your daughter is cracking. She's exposing you for the criminals that you are. We're asking you to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Gabby's life mattered. Justice for Gabby. Justice for the Petito family. We are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere until we have the answers that we request. Start working with law enforcement. Pick up the phone and call the FBI. Come to this media and ask and beg for your son to turn himself over to authorities. You haven't done anything. You went camping when Gabby was missing. Who does that? You guys have been hiding evidence and helping Brian escape. Those are crimes. Do the right thing. It's the right thing to do. Justice for Gabby. Say her name. Gabby Petito. Say her name. Gabby Petito. Justice for Gabby and justice for the Petito family. I'm not going anywhere today. You're going to hear from me all day until we hear from you.
Now, 90% of the stuff that you heard there, we uncovered. The stuff that we learned out there in the field doing that, we learned a lot. We learned a lot about the laundries. We learned a lot about Brian. We talked to some neighbors that remember Gabby Petito and, Chevy, we don't prescribe to violence over here, buddy. We don't prescribe to violence over here. But, there was a lot, and people don't understand, this was a family that decided to do horrible things. They should have been put in prison. I'm sorry. What they did, law enforcement gave them a pass because they were guilty. They had already lost a son. And I think they weighed on themselves whether to charge these parents, because everybody all the way around lost. Everybody lost. There was no winners in this case. There was nothing. Nobody won a damn thing. Even if the Petitos are successful in the civil suit, which, as you can tell, they're most likely going to be, because again, Brian Long's parents did terrible things. They committed, crimes. Period. They committed crimes. Now, granted, law enforcement didn't want to prosecute them for the crimes. Okay, they didn't want to prosecute them for the crimes. It didn't mean they don't exist. It just, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean the crime didn't exist just because law enforcement did not want to prosecute them. So it made the Petitos, it made it a little more difficult because, at the end of the day, the only way that they were going to prove that the family did anything wrong was taking them to court. That was it. Law enforcement wasn't going to help them. So they had no choice. When you need something done, you're left with no choices. Guess what? Guess who is the ultimate decider of that? The court systems. Funny how it works. So when you have no other choice, when all other options have failed, you got to go to court. All the stuff that we found out from them, knowing that Gabby was deceased before Brian got back to Florida, is true. We said that. It's true. Them helping their son, guess what? It's true. So just remember, because, once upon a time, we had people knocking on our doors telling us we were a bunch of liars and these parents were innocent and we shouldn't be doing this. And boom, we find out, no, they're not innocent. Yes, they did help. Yes, they did commit crimes, and everything that the Petitos are taking them to court for, they deserve to be in court for. So, it sucks a little bit, but what do you do? You keep going. So I think that's where the investigation starts. We start going in and looking into everything, because we were on a fact-finding mission when we were there before Gabby was found. We were on a protest mission after Gabby was found. And we just wanted to get them to start talking. Law enforcement wasn't getting them to cooperate. How do we know that? Because we were out there with law enforcement. That's how we know. It wasn't a state secret that they weren't cooperating. It really wasn't. Everybody and their mother that was out there knew they were cooperating. They were, their attorney, that Stephen Bertolino, that piece of garbage, he was the objective for him was to keep the laundry's mouth shut. He was very good at making sure the laundries kept their mouth shut. In that respect, he was a good attorney. But I also knew that they needed to fire him, because when he started going out and speaking on their behalf, not doing them any justice. And that's when I realized, if they're going to get any redemption, if law enforcement's going out there, and if they were planning on charging these parents, which, after Brian Laundrie was found deceased himself, my thoughts, like, I don't think they are going to do a thing to the parents, because I know law enforcement, they're not going to, they have discretion themselves. And one of the things that good law enforcement, good prosecutors, good judges, they're fair, okay? And that's what comes down to it. This is where their discretion kind of comes in my opinion. I don't know if they'll admit to this or not, but this is opinion. It's just from observations over the years that I've seen. But it seems to me that if, for example, even if the crimes were committed, if they felt that they are already being punished enough for those crimes, they're not going to charge them. You see what I'm saying? There is discretion. And I think that that's where the discretion fell with the Laundrie parents. Yes, they did these things in absence of their son's crimes. Would they have done these things? Probably not. So I'm thinking that that's kind of where it goes, in a sense. Do I think it's right? No. I think if you commit a crime, you need to be held accountable for that crime, period. I would be held to the same standard. It's not like I want something for somebody else that I'm not expecting for myself. Even if a family member did terrible things and I helped them, that was a choice I chose to make, knowing I could get in trouble, right? So I made that conscious decision to help my family member, knowing that what I could put me in legal jeopardy. So I'm taking that responsibility. If I get caught, I may go to jail. That is a responsibility, if I chose to do that I'm taking on myself, knowing that, right? We all have brains, right? We're all adults here. In this case, it's a mom and dad, right? Mom and dad has raised children, they're mom and dad. So they know what between right and wrong. If they choose wrong and they lose their son, I'm sorry. I still, people can beat me up and call it bad behavior or whatever they want to call it, find a reason, whatever. I don't care. But at the end of the day, they took that responsibility. They knew they could get in trouble. And unfortunately, their son took the easy way out. It didn't change the fact that they committed these crimes. It didn't change the fact that those crimes could have been proven in a court of law. And so I really kind of personally frown upon not treating everybody equal. If you would have done this for one family, you need to do it for all families. If you're going to give every single family that gets involved in helping their family member cover up a crime, and you're going to give them a free pass, then we should not have accessory charges. Those should be taken off of our books as crimes, because if you're only going to use it for someone, for your choice of who you use it against, versus somebody else, I have a problem with that, because according to our Constitution, we're required to levy our laws equally from person to person. Nobody is above the law. Nobody's below the law. We're all equals when it comes to the law. So when you give one parent a pass, but you choose not to give another parent a pass, I find that disgusting. So if you're going to charge one for accessory, you need to charge all that commit accessory crimes with accessory crimes. Now, if there is some type of plea deal or some type of agreement, which there is a possibility for it. Now, remember, they did meet with the FBI before they went out. And thanks, Betty, by the way. Oh, you're welcome. Not sure what you're thanking me for, but you're welcome. But the whole situation is, it's hard, because I really believe that what Roberta and Chris did were wrong. And as far as the plea agreement, there could have been one. They met with the FBI. a few days before they went out there. And I was reading this. This is what upsets me. And they're still peddling this, and they're doing it intentionally. And I want to scream out to all Sarasota news organizations, Sarasota County news organizations, get your facts correct. I'm so sick and tired. You live in Sarasota and you know the difference between Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park and Carlton Reserves. Okay? Brian Laundrie was not found in Carlton Reserves just because they changed and chose to take their investigation 45 minutes away. A logistical nightmare, because they should not have done that. Okay, strategic nightmare, should not have done that. Tactical nightmare, should not have done that. I'm tired of hearing our Sarasota. You guys are intentionally peddling the same lies the day they found Brian Laundrie. He was not found in the Carlton Reserve where water was up chest deep. We all know where he was found. He was found in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park where there was no water. There was this much water on the ground. And I seen this from our news organization here. Well, Sarasota, Manatee County, Sarasota, Minnesota. It's kind of, we're different counties, but we're kind of together, right? But this is our news, our local news organizations saying Brian Laundrie was found in the Carlton Reserve. He was not found in the Carlton Reserves. He was found at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. This is where the Mustang was found. This is where he was the entire time. They determined that man offed himself shortly after him arriving there. So he didn't leave. He was in that same spot since the day he did that. And law enforcement and all the equipment that they had out there, they pulled it from that area and moved it 45 minutes away and took 4 weeks to locate Brian back at the original area that they were searching at. So I want to make sure that that's clear for our audience, because this is the reason why I decided to do what I do today, is because these inconsistencies from our mainstream media, them still trying to back the crap that law enforcement was telling people back then, it's crap. They moved the search. They went to the swamp. And yes, they created a situation where they had water up to here. But that was not where Brian was found. It was not where Brian was. Brian swam out to his location. I didn't swim out to his location. So let's knock it off. Enough's enough. He was not at the Carlton Reserve. It's irritating to hear it. And the reason why it irritates me to hear it is because I know it's just to peddle the fact that they had water up to their chest. Where Brian was found, there was no water up to the chest. I'm sorry, there just wasn't. I don't know how nicer I can be to say that, but it irritates me when law enforcement lies to us. They made mistakes. Instead of just saying, we made mistakes, they're giving a bunch of BS to blow up the butts of their public. And you know me, we don't like blowing smoke. Unless it's a vape, okay? Unless it's a vape. We can handle that, right? We can handle that. So here's some more, guys. I'm so tired this morning. I don't know why. It just all that now just hit me. And I really don't know why, because I feel like I slept fine last night. I do. I really do. All right, let's see what other videos we got. We're going through videos. There's some pretty interesting stuff in here. And I don't know which ones they are, because this was from 2 years ago. So the only way we're going to find the good stuff is going through all of it.
Looks like we have more delivery coming.
Oh yeah, we are monitoring all deliveries.
Let's see. And he said this is a delivery. Would you mind saying names?
Jonathan and Andrew.
Thank you.
Just to make sure we weren't stealing food.
Oh, thank you. Coffee. Oh, shoot.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, that was
right,
the best,
so
the best part.
They're still sending us some.
It was
Iced coffee.
so.
Yeah, just sit it down anywhere. You can sit it on the ground if you'd like. Yeah, thank you. So
They sent us. We were out there for it was so tiring, so exhausting. I got to tell you, we didn't really like to leave our post too much unless we were out there looking into the case. But it got so hot out there, without those cold drinks coming to us, it would have been miserable because we weren't leaving. Occasionally we would be able to go up to the store, or if somebody had to use the bathroom, we would like, well, can you grab a drink or some cash, something like. We were always just trying to work to make the best of it. But it was hot. It was so hot. It was blazing hot.
So much. We appreciate all your help.
What's this about?
Protest, Gabby Petito's, the Dirty Laundry House.
How is it?
So, and we're protesting. We're wanting them to break their silence and come clean with what's going on. Yep. This is it. This is where the circus is.
Wonderful.
So, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate our fans that are keeping us hydrated and full of food. So, we do love you. God bless you. Without the support, the outcrying of support and what we were doing, we wouldn't be able to continue to go on. But we'd find a way, because this is personal, and Petito family is suffering greatly, and that's who we're here for today. That's who we've been here for since the beginning of this, is the Petito family, and seeking justice for Gabby. So we love each and every one of you, and God bless.
And I don't know what this one is either. We'll see.
You here to support Gabby? We thank you for that. I'm Andra. Thank you so much. Those are beautiful. She would appreciate those. Do you have a few minutes to answer some questions?
I'm a reporter. If I could ask you some questions, if you don't mind.
Okay. I have my hand in the bar. Okay.
I can keep it quick if you want, and if you want to
Go ahead.
this as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna video record this if that's okay, though. So you're dropping off flowers here today.
Yes.
You said you knew Gabby?
Yes.
How did you know her?
She was one of my customers. She at work. She was a sweetheart, and she is just a free spirit and a wonderful human being. And it's just a sick, tragic situation. And my heart breaks for her family, and friends.
When was the last time you spoke to her, or you saw her even?
Oh God, it's been a while. Maybe like 6 months.
Do you remember what that interaction was like?
I do now, and was there as well, which kind of ruins the memory, unfortunately. So,
can you tell me a little bit more about that interaction?
Just at where I work, just information and whatnot, but conversation.
I understand.
Yeah, so.
Are you a Northport resident?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
And, everyone has a day. You took time out of your day to drop off flowers. Why?
Just because it means so much to me. The situation that she was in, obviously, it's just heartbreaking, and she deserves justice. Her family deserves justice. There's no amount of justice that will ever really help, per se, but just for everybody out there to know that this sadly is real and that it happens. And, like they say, she's like America's daughter now, because sadly, for her legacy, everybody knows somebody like her, or potentially in the situation, and it's just touches so many people. So,
and my last question for you.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on how the events have unfolded so far?
It's been a whirlwind, so to speak, and I just hope that there is justice for her family as soon as humanly possible. It's just.
So there you guys have it. There's one of the interviews. We have several of the other interviews, left, but there's just, it's a lot, there's this, I think people forget, how impactful Gabby's story was to the world. she affected me. She forever changed my life. I know that many people are in the same boat. This is a girl we didn't know personally. By the time this was over, I felt like I was her best friend, because we learned so much about her, much of her life, so much about how truly beautiful Gabby was, and her story is, it's sad, but I think it's normal how she felt being a broken family. I think I identified a lot of what I found. So this is what I learned. I don't know how to say this. It may get me in a little hot water. I don't know, but I'll just come out and say it how it was, what we learned. And this is no disrespect to her family, or no disrespect to her mom or her dad, or to anything like that. It's just, this is how she felt from what we learned from her friends. She kind of felt like her, and this again, and I felt this way myself. My parents were splitting up and everything like that, but she kind of felt like they like she was the third wheel, as her mom got remarried, her dad got remarried. There were other kids that were products of those marriages, and from my communication with her friends, again, was that she felt like, you see what I'm saying? And again, it obviously wasn't true. Her parents love her very, very, very much. I mean, we see that day in and day out. We see their heart break. We can't even imagine what it's like to be in the shoes of the Petitos. We don't, in the Schmidts, we don't know. Our heart breaks. They love their daughter immensely. They fought for their daughter. I'm getting goosebumps even saying that right now. But it was just, but it was just how she felt, or she expressed herself to some of her friends. And I think that's the connection that she got with Brian. Like, Brian was paying attention, to her. He appeared to really love her. She really liked that attention. He was a very introverted person. Her friends didn't really warm up to him, and then, of course, with any kind of weird, any kind of abuse, whether it's verbal abuse, and there's all types of abuse. I've been subjected not just to physical abuse, but verbal and psychological, mental abuse, and I got to tell you, the verbal and psychological stuff is almost 10 times worse than the physical stuff in my mind, because it screws you up. To me, it seems like it screws you up longer. Like, the bruises heal, but the scars in the brain just, they stay, they stay for a really long time. So I just think she gravitated toward him paying her attention. I don't think it was, I think their relationship was, from our understanding, was, it was good, but it was still always rocky. And we heard from the neighbors that they've heard screaming coming from that house in the past. So we knew early on that, the family had to have known that there was violence between Gabby and Brian Laundrie, because the neighbors knew that there was violence between them. So the idea, this illusion that Brian's parents didn't turn the other cheek is wildly wrong. They absolutely did. This could have been all avoided. But with everybody keeping their mouth shut and sweeping stuff under the rug, now we have a dead girl. That was just. Anyways, I think that they've got what I think they're getting what they deserve. I supported the Petito shit court proceedings. I've supported it because I knew that that was the only way that they were going to truly get the truth out. These parents were rotten. Brian Laundrie's parents are rotten to the core. Okay. They are rotten to the core. Cassie is lucky. She's got a good husband. She's got children. She looks like she's thriving. I'm hoping she doesn't have any psychological scars or anything that goes on behind their closed doors that they sweep under the rug. We don't know. We only, it appears that they are doing well and thriving. But again, we learn all the time covering true crime that what we see on the outside is not really what's going on the inside. We see so many times where people have perfect lives or the appearance of perfect lives. It is a nightmare when that front door of our home closes. Many of us have experienced that ourselves, where the appearance on the outside was much different than the reality. Many of us have had that experience. And if you haven't had that experience, be thankful. Be thankful. It's something that I don't think, I believe I've seen something. You could tell that when we were interviewing her, and I remember Jonathan kind of took it over because I was so hot under the collar. I remember him just looking at me like, I'm like, but you could tell we were talking to her that she wasn't being truthful. I felt that she was being truthful about a lot, but when it came down to her telling us that her mother and Brian came over to her house without Gabby and nobody asked about Gabby. She didn't ask about, nobody asked about Gabby. Where's Gabby? You left with Gabby. She didn't come back with you. Nobody in the family asked him when he showed up with her, where's that? The kids didn't ask where Aunt Gabby is. I don't believe that. There is no possibility, none. There is, in my mind, there is no possibility of that being truthful because children do not have filters. Okay. How many times have we been out with our grandchildren, our own children, and they say something that's totally embarrassing because they don't have filters. They don't realize it's embarrassing. They haven't learned that lesson yet. Okay. So she's got young children that love their Aunt Gabby that she communicated with while she was on the road. They see Uncle Brian, but not Aunt Gabby, and nobody asks where Aunt Gabby is, the favorite aunt. That to me doesn't make sense. Even if the adults didn't ask, the children would have. But it's still highly suspect that because I can't remember going to when I was married, I can't remember going to my mom's house, like just popping in and going by myself and her not asking, so what's Vince up to today? Right? Like it's organic. It's natural. It's not like this. It's not like you think about it. So if you weren't going to ask about Gabby, it seems to me that there would have already been the preconceived notion, let's not talk about Gabby. Wouldn't that be yours? Because that's the way I got. So if they're not talking about Gabby when he comes back home, that's how I knew she wasn't being forthcoming, because what she said didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. What did I say? Next week will be 1 year since my daughter got out of her 14 years of DV marriage. She has been in trauma counseling for 11 months. She is strong. Oh, God bless her, Nani. God bless her. I'm glad. I love hearing stories like that because it's the hardest thing to do. And people come down on me all the time because of my stance. And I'm just like, just leave. And we all know that leaving is the most dangerous time for a woman in a domestic violence situation. We all know that. But if he's going to hurt like that, it's going to hurt you like that. The bottom line is you got to walk out the door. because the inevitable will happen. It will happen if you stay. At least packing your stuff and walking out the door, at least you have a chance. It's a 50-50, but you got a chance. Don't take anything with you. Pack your bag and go. Act like you're going to the grocery store and never come back. Literally leave your whole life behind. It is it's hard. I've seen families do it. I've experienced it. I don't know what to say. We all know that it's the most dangerous time. So the idea of clubbing me over the head, to say that this is, the reason why people just don't walk out, we all know it's the most dangerous time. We all know that. It's not like it's this science. The bottom line is, if that's inevitable, if you're going to die, let me put this in a little more perspective. If you're going to die trying to leave, not by staying. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get across. So there's no easy way to talk about this stuff. There is no magic solution for this. The same thing doesn't work for every single person. What might be safer for one person might be lethal for another person. But the bottom line is you have to get out. There's no easy out other than out. There just isn't. If you're going to die trying. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not to be insensitive or anything like that. I mean, good Lord, I've lived it, I've breathed it. I mean, this was my childhood. Some people don't understand that, but there's no good time to leave. No good time to leave. You just have to leave. And you just have to have an internal voice that tells you when you leave, everything's going to be okay. Because you can't return. You got to go. It's just your time to go. For yourself, for your life, for your children, for your grandchildren. I swear to God, it's one of the things that when you're getting hit, you kind of take it. But when you don't get hit anymore, you won't ever let somebody put a hand on you again. Ever. So I just hope everybody that's going through something gets to that point. I hope they get to that point. God bless each and every one of you guys. We're going to turn on, I'm going to be doing some more videos tomorrow. We'll turn on the phones tomorrow. I'm only going to do probably videos for the first hour, and then we're going to open up the phone lines for the last hour. So we're going to have a full hour just to kind of talk about this, talk about domestic violence, talk about our experiences with it, talk about how if you got out of it personally, or if family members or friends got out of it personally, maybe talk about what helped them, because we don't know who's listening to this, that our conversation related to this might help someone else, might help them get the courage to leave, might help them start reading out and somebody know what's happening to them. This is something that affects a lot of women more so than men. I'm not going to say that it affects only women, it doesn't, but it affects predominantly women. And we have something very, very powerful, our story. And our story can help someone else. It might save their life. So we're going to take the time out to help us share our testimonies with the world as we help encourage anybody out there that's being abused domestically. You have the strength to end it. It's scary and it's hard. So my mom was in an abusive relationship for 13 years, 3 miscarriages with the bio dad. Thank God my stepdad came into our lives when I was 3. So I was raised by the best dad ever. That is so sweet. That is so genuinely sweet. My father was a great dad. I mean, to be honest with you, he was a great dad. When he drank, he was just not the same person. I don't really want to go into any more than that, but it just wasn't. I was daddy's little girl. He taught me a lot. He taught me how to wire houses. He taught me a lot. And like I said, I didn't realize how screwed up my life was until, you got to understand the shock factor that I had to go through as well. But people didn't fight physically. They didn't scream. They didn't yell. They were diplomatic. There was a whole lot of learning I had to do. And I'm still working on it. Like I still, some things will just set me off, and I've got to reel it back in and realize it's not big of a deal. And this too shall pass. And, but it's not something that just goes away. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. Believe it or not, this channel helps remind me it's an everyday thing, I think that's helpful. But either way, tomorrow we're going to open up the phone lines. If you guys would like, this is not required. I mean, you don't have to tell your personal business. You change names to mask identities if you choose. If you choose not to use a name, use my friend. You can use hypotheticals if you so choose. If that helps you, you don't have to speak at all. You can just listen, right? But you do have a story to tell. If you think that it's something that would help somebody else, or even just help yourself, just get something off your chest. We're going to open up the phone lines tomorrow. We'll keep it open as long as the phones are ringing. I don't have any preconceived notions of 2-hour live. If it goes on for 3 or 4 hours, then it goes on for 3 or 4 hours. If it goes on for 20 minutes, it only goes on for 20 minutes. It is whatever it is. It's whatever you guys want it to be. But we'll go over a few more videos tomorrow, and then we'll open up the phone lines and we'll talk about it. We'll have a good conversation. Yeah, alcohol. I think alcohol and substances. I think that alcohol just needs to be replaced with substances. It's the substance. It's whatever is going to change your brain. I think when we do anything that modifies our way of thinking, in excess, just like anything, if it's not done in excess, it probably does not have the effect on. But if it's excessively done, it's the withdrawals, or when you can't do it excessively, that gets you irritable and makes you rage-like, right? Almost like roid rage. But it's basically from coming down versus being mellow or being healed or whatever. But alcohol, drugs, violence, it's just a lethal combination. And usually you have a combination. It's, there are violent people out there that don't, prescribe to any substances. They're just nasty people that are just violent. There are just some people out there like that. But for the most part, you see a common theme with it. And you're right. It usually is, substance, alcohol related in many cases. I think it alters the brain. And I think when you're too diluted in whatever it is, I think that you realize, I think everybody has a Jekyll and Hyde in them. It's whether they ever meet each other or not is really up to you. And I think that it's the substances that bring that alter ego out of people. And just some are a little more depraved than others, just like, human beings in their normal sense, or there are just some more depraved than others. Some other people, when they get to that, Mr. Hyde, I don't know. Just my thought. It's becoming part of you, ingrained in your core. We just have to learn healthy ways to. Yeah, I think that really is. And if anybody wants to see that, I think that really is a good statement. Yeah, I know my coping mechanisms. Like I work on it every day. Like I'm hurt. If somebody really hurts me, like cuts me deep, that's manifested in anger. It doesn't come out of me in tears. It comes out of me in just like anger, like screaming, like how effing you type of thing. And I got to reel that back in and that person is affecting me so negatively that it's bringing out this rage, like, and it's not good. And it's time to cut those ties, because, you know, you can only be angry for so long. You can only be hurt for so long. And it's time to, you know, dust yourself off and move forward. You know, how long do you plan on being bitter? I don't like being bitter. You know, I don't like being upset and angry. So I don't know. I guess to each their own. But however you deal with your stuff, you know, we're not all the same. And hopefully all of us in one area talking about it, maybe something that worked for one type of personality might help another, you know, another with the same type of personality trait. Maybe a situation might be similar from one of our viewers to another viewer that might help another viewer. So just you know, if you go over it tonight, and see if you'd like to share, you know, share your story. And if it, you decide you want to share your story, you know, come up here. Again, you don't have to share your name. You can keep people anonymous, but if you've got a story to share, that might help somebody else. Anyways, kicking a dead horse. Don't forget to be fearless, folks. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be kind. Please be safe and kind to one another, especially in the chat box below. I know sometimes it's easy not to realize that, you know, we are all human here. So let's just be a little bit kinder to one another. I really think that would help a lot, going a long ways. If we're here to help, let's help. That's it. There's no other, there's no reason here, right? We're here to help. All right, guys, God bless. Take care.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.